Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a leader stat system. First, insert a script into the server script service. I think we're just going to name this leader stats since that's what we're making. Right here we're going to be making the services. So nothing for that. It's kind of just like that, I would change this to just a restore service so that they restore services. Right here is going to be the main function, so this is going to be where most of the stuff is made. Player added function. I'm trying to go as slow as possible, so that way you guys actually have time to like copy down and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of this, so take a minute and jot down. After that, I'm going to explain everything to you. Alright, so basically what this is doing is we're going into the player and we're adding a folder in there which will be our leader stats, and that's what it's going to be doing for now, but I'll add on to what's going to be added into that folder. Bruh. Yeah, it's kind of this basically. Bro, the amount of times I've done this is honestly diabolical. Alright. Yeah, that's gonna fit really. Now we're moving on to the second one, which will be the gem. Local gems is equal to instance dot new. Oops. And value, so gems dot new is equal to gem. Oops. Like that. Then after that, gems dot parent is equal to leader stats. Now, what this is doing basically so far is we're going into the player, we're going to add a folder in there, and in that folder we will have our two int values, which will be coins and gems, and inside this int value, basically, we can put a value in there, which will basically be like how much money, gems, or whatever they have. It's kind of it. one more thing that you need to do is go to game, go to file, and game settings. What you're going to need to do is make sure API services is enabled. That's what you're going to need to be able to do it. Jot it down. Set your head. Bruh. Oops. Alright, I found out why. I didn't do this. Yeah, there we go. Alright, that's gonna do it for the main function. Now, it's gonna do it for the main function. Now what we're doing is we're doing the function where it saves the data for one player leaves, So when the player goes ahead and leaves, the data will basically save. Alright, basically what this part is doing is we're getting the data of the player or whatever, and if it fails or if they don't have a saved data, then it's going to be 0. That's what this part is for. And the saved data is right here, and that's what their data is, or not their value is going to be. But if they don't have one, it's going to be 0. But if it fails, then it's going to be 0 either way. So it's kind of like it resets it, Alright, now it's oops, wrong. Fucking God. Yeah, that looks right so far. Now, what you're going to need to do is to make sure you have everything jotted down correctly here. Make sure you add that comma right here, or else it will not work. There. Alright, that's kind of it. You won't need to add a comma for this one, unless you were adding another one here, I guess. Now for the last one, this kind of the winning message, so if not success, then one. Error, saving data for dot dot figure dot name dot dot colon, I think that's what it is, dot dot error. It's gonna fit really. Oh, right. Alright, but why did it not enter that right there? Oh, Snox. Alright, kind of forgot this, so. Alright, there we go, now it works. And that's kind of the script, so what this does is it's basically putting this into a data store which will have the coins and gems data. So if we load in, yep, there it is, coins and gems. Now if I go to players, subspace productions, leaderstats, that's a photo we made right about here. Then the joint, not the joint, and the coins right here and the gems. Sadly, the joint, oh my god, bro, why am I saying joins? I'm saying gems with coins. Alright, basically the value will not save, sadly, because in studio it doesn't work that way. You need to do it like either in-game or you can buy a dev product in studio in order to make it work, you know. It's kind of it, really. I might make part 2 to this, like making a shop and stuff like that, but I'll see you guys in the next one.